I was going to declare him. I looked at him. If you saw my eyes,
It doesn't matter.
You're playing a ruthless game.
No take backseat.
That doesn't apply. Okay, ready? I'm declaring that guy. Let's go, baby! What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chits and Chats, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different for us. We're going to be playing a type of game that we don't play often enough. And frankly, I haven't really enjoyed these types of games that much, but I'm hoping that today that will be forever changed. And that type of game is an abstract game. This is 5 Paths. Now, guys, the link to the Kickstarter is in the description, and we are about to jump into this thing. But first, I want to say thank you to the developers, who are Nick Jackson, Robert Radkin, Zachary Brown, Matt Pating, and the art is by Kenny Kong. I just read all of that right off the booklet, and I just want to say thank you guys for sending us a copy to review. And this is a non-paid review. We're just here to have some fun and provide an honest review of a game to see if we enjoy it and to see if you guys will enjoy it. So this is what we're looking at, guys, right here. This is all we need. And what I love about this already is that there's very few components. The setup time was that. You know what I mean? Literally just unzipping a baggie, a couple baggies, and just dumping them out. The hardest part was actually arranging them perfectly measured. Almost. They're a little cockeyed. I'm not gonna lie, but
that's all right.
It was worth a try. Okay, so all we have is a pair of dice, and then we have these cubes out here, or these cylinders out here.
Yeah.
Now, guys, this game is all about what?
Sorry.
Did you say pog?
Pog.
That's actually perfect. That is the perfect description.
Pogs.
They are pogs. Yes, guys, we have these pogs out here, and what we're gonna be doing, there are 5 different factions that we're gonna be playing with. Hence the name 5 Paths. Okay, so now this game is gonna be a little bit like a chess game. It's a little bit, abstract games have that. It's very tactical on the board. But it's all about how you move the pieces around on the board.
It looks like Chinese checkers.
It does kind of look like. Have you ever played Chinese checkers?
I have, yes.
Were you any good at it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was a long time ago.
I had a great aunt, and she would always, the only reason she came down 6-hour drive was to play Chinese checkers with us.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I don't remember losing ever. I don't know if I played by the rules either.
Probably not. She
But
probably just let you win.
she probably did, but it was a good time regardless. Now today we will be playing by the rules, hopefully. So here's what we're doing in this game. The way you win in this game, because I know that's what you care about most, is you either have to capture 5 of the enemy units, and you're going to be placing them in here, these spots. Once you have those captured, you win. And if you get to a point where, if you get the other person to a point where they cannot declare a unit, which means they can't use a unit, they are out of the game. You have won. Okay, so those are the 2 ways to win. That's it. Okay, now for setup, we have these 10 units, and we're going to be going back and forth, putting 5 units on these deployment zones. Okay, the significance of deployment zones is that you can never play a unit that's already out here if there's still some left in the deployment zone. You always have to play out of the deployment zone first. So a player's turn is going to go like this. First is the declaration. Okay, so you're just declaring which unit you're going to use before you roll the dice. Okay, that is the first thing you're going to do. Then you're going to roll the dice.
All right.
Okay, then you're going to move. And they all have their different types of movement that they can do, but the general rule of thumb here is momentum. Okay, so momentum means that basically if a unit is going in a straight line, they have to continue all the way along that straight line until they come to a corner, in which case they can then choose the direction they want to veer off of. Okay, so that is momentum, but everybody has a little bit of a different rule, but that is the general rule for that. Okay, so that's momentum, and cornering, which I just talked about, which is just coming to a corner and choosing the path that you want to take in life. Okay, the last thing you can do, I didn't really tell you things that you could do, but the last concept is reinforcement. Okay, so what this means is at the end of a turn, if you've captured any enemy units, which means you've put something in here, you can then reinforce if you have less than 5 people out on the board. Okay, you can never have more than 5 units between deployment zones and people on the field. Okay, you just go ahead and put one of these guys that are unused in the deployment zone, and they have to be used before these guys out here. Okay, so let's go over the factions super quick, okay? So the Gale movement is super easy. You just move in a straight line, or sorry, you roll 2 dice, you take the sum of that number, you move in a straight line until you come to a corner, and then you do your thing, okay? Capturing, the way it works for a Gale is you simply just land on top of an enemy, and you have to land on their piece, and you can actually, so yeah, so basically if I'm here and you're here, I can land on here, I can end my movement early to just capture that piece, and then you are captured, okay?
Take him over here.
Take him over there, and that's 1 down, and that's it. Okay, so then they have a special ability called Perch, which is they can basically enter these are rooftops, which is cool to think about in this like dystopian futuristic society.
Now it looks like city. And now it looks
it's
like
a city.
Streets.
Those are streets.
Yeah,
Makes sense. It's starting to come alive right now.
Right.
So these are rooftops. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So these guys can enter those rooftops and they're immune to anybody else while they're there, and they can also treat these as corners and just kind of fly off in any direction they want. Okay. Okay, so Torrent is super easy as well. You're basically going to roll 2 dice. 1 is going to be movement and 1 is going to be used if you capture an enemy, okay? So the way you do that again is similar to these guys, to the Gales. You simply, I picture my aunt every time I say it. Just two of them. I have an aunt, yes, anyway. You just move on top of the enemy piece and you capture them, okay? But the thing about these guys is you have to take the other dice at that point and then roll, and you have to move off of that person, off of that enemy, that many spaces, okay? So like basically if you capture somebody, the lower dice will be, or whatever dice that you set aside will be used as an additional movement that you have to go.
After you capture him?
Yes.
So you take him, bounce on him, put him over here, and then you continue to move.
And then you continue to move with that lower dice. Or the dice that you did not use, okay?
Okay.
So they have 2 special abilities. One is slide. You can slide through these blue diamonds, which is pretty neat. And also, yes, and surge is if you capture an enemy. So surge is what I was talking about. Use the other dice and just kind of surge off into the unknown, okay? The next one is going to be arc. So these are the... Ooh. I should have put them in order, which would have been really convenient for this video. But time did not allot. Yes, these guys are the arc. Now, the arc is unique in that they're also going to roll 2 dice. So that's actually the same thing as everybody else. But one is movement and one is a shooting range, okay? So instead of just capturing somebody, you're going to actually shoot something at those people. Maybe it's, I don't know, net?
Shoot them.
You shoot them, yes. And you capture them.
Do stun shot, one of those little...
a stun shot or a net?
What are those?
Oh, the tasers?
The taser.
It could be a taser, yeah.
Or, you know.
That actually, I almost put my shoulder out right there. You always get too hard when you do those little things, those little examples or whatever.
You said my fingers are like needles.
They're the worst, man. They get so deep in there. I don't like it. Anyway, so you could probably pop a coconut with one of those.
How?
Have you ever tried?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll get one. Maybe we'll do one.
Do you know how bad that would jam my finger?
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a pretty solid knuckle. Now, here's the thing. So they have to be within line of sight, okay? So they have to, jumping back in, straight back in, 0 segue. You have to be in a straight line, okay? So you can use that other dice to, one is movement and one is the shooting range, okay? Boom. So now there's...
It has to be a straight line.
It has to be a straight line, yes. Yeah, you can't just like, reflect these like things and curve bullets.
Like Wanted? Something?
That's copyright. So their special ability...
It's okay.
Their special...
I don't care if I'm drinking.
No. Their special ability, I actually do that all the time on camera when you're going. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So I don't know why you stopped.
Does anybody else like coffee breath? Has anybody else just gotten used to it? Their special ability is actually ricochet, which means that they can, if they land on a person, they don't actually capture it. They can't capture it by landing on it. They just move off of it like a corner. Okay?
How far do they move off of it?
They just continue their movement off of it.
Okay.
Yeah, if they hit an enemy, they can just bounce off the enemy.
What is this on the flash?
That one is the arc.
Oh, the arc.
Yep. The arc. That's the purple. Okay. Now we have the flash, which are these guys right here. Now the flash is interesting. They have a
set movement of 3.
That's it. They said static in here, and when I read static movement, it like messed my brain a little bit. And so now when I try to say it, it just goes like static movement. You wouldn't.
Right, because it doesn't go by the dice, so it's not changing.
Right.
So
it's just a static 3 set movement. So yes, so they move 3. Okay. Now they capture by landing on an enemy.
Okay.
Okay.
Like the first 2. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I read that. I said that was like it was going to be like really profound, but I was thinking about the special ability.
Okay.
which is Dazed. We didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Okay, so
Like Dazed and Confused.
it is like Dazed and Confused. Copyright. So Dazed is.
Also, wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, it's a classic though. We can't. We wouldn't watch any of these movies now. Maybe back in the day,
Right?
Because they're not a great influence. You know what I mean? Okay. So Dazed is if the enemy is within 2 nodes in a straight line of you. Okay. So like, let's say the Flash, who are these guys, are within 2 spaces. So like, let's say one of these guys right there, they are going to be dazed.
Well, would the arc shoot you first?
I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know how this all works yet. Okay. But I'm excited to find it out.
I'm feeling froggy today.
I know. You're not, yeah.
I'm not myself.
No.
Too much coffee.
A little bit too much coffee, a little sleep. And her brain doesn't know what to do. So
I'll probably win.
Well, that has no effect. But that's really messed up. Okay, so the wife is incredibly toxic today for no reason. So that means if an enemy is within 2 spaces, there's going to be a contest, okay, that the Flash will basically initiate, okay? Now what that means is there's going to be a challenge. We're both going to roll a die. Now, if the Flash wins the die roll, basically the enemy, he can move the enemy a number of spaces equal to the losing die roll. Okay, so if I win and you roll a die that's like 3, I can move your piece 3 away, following the normal rules. Okay. Now, if the Flash loses the roll, the enemy keeps moving and he can't be challenged again in that turn by that Flash. Okay, because he can move still within 2 and he just can't be challenged again. Okay, in that single turn. Now, if it's a tie, nothing happens. They just go on with their lives. Sorry, the Flash's ability actually is triggered on the opponent's turn. Okay, so if you ever move within 2, then it just triggers. Okay, and there's a contest. Like if you're moving within 2 of mine on your turn, you're the one moving, then it is initiated. Okay? Gotcha. That's how the Flash works. Okay, so that is the special ability, and the last one is the most complex, called the Canto. The Canto does a lot. Okay, so the Canto basically rolls 2, does 1 movement with the die, takes 1 die for a movement and puts the other one aside for stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you what that stuff is. Now, the way they capture enemy units is by dragging stunned enemy units across other enemy units. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. The first thing you can do is a stun, and that can happen on your turn or my turn. Whenever somebody is entering an adjacent node to the Canto, he is going to be stunned. Okay. Okay? That is stunning. Now, if a Canto has a stunned enemy attached to it, you can declare that Canto, and you can take the lower die roll and drag. So you're going to roll 2 die, but you take the
So the first one is movement, and the second one is if you capture or if you stun someone, you can drag them with the second die.
So what it sounds like is basically if you want to drag somebody, you're going to have to declare a Canto and then roll 2 dice, and you take the lower value and you drag that person that many spaces.
Right. So you use the first die as movement, and then you use the second die as the drag.
Well, but this thing says declare. The rules say declare the Canto that has stunned an enemy. So that means like on a separate turn. So it makes me think you have to roll a die. So you have to roll 2 dice and you take the lower value and you can drag the enemy behind your Canto's movement that many spaces. Okay? And when he drags across, if he drags across any other enemies, that's going to be a capture. Okay. Does that make sense? Boom. Okay. So that is dragging. Now, the other thing is ricochet. We've already talked about that. If he lands on an enemy, he can just kind of just ricochet off. Okay? And you treat him as a corner. Now, the last thing you can do is push, okay? And this, to me, so the way it's written in the rules says to free a unit that has been stunned by an enemy Canto, you may move a friendly unit into the node. So what I'm thinking is that has to be an actual Canto. I'm not 100% sure about this, because if it has to be a Canto, it's going to be really hard to get him over there potentially. But we're going to play that it has to be a Canto, okay? So you have to use the Canto because that's their special abilities pushing, and they can basically land on the unit that is stunned. And they can basically push that unit to an adjacent node. If the Canto loses that stunned enemy that way, that Canto is basically stunned themselves. They cannot be declared the next turn. Okay. Okay. So.
And Cantos can free or push any hog, not just another Canto, right? As long as they're stunned.
Yeah. So like if you have one captured here with this Canto, like if I have captured you with my Canto, you can bring another Canto in here and push this, and he will basically he cannot be declared. Okay. So that's how that works. Okay. We're gonna see how that all plays out. Hopefully we will play this game and do it justice. So, let's roll a die and see who goes first. I'll be blue. I don't know. Ready? 2. That is sick. Wow. Well, guys, thank you for joining. Okay, ready? 3.
Aww,
wow.
That's awful.
Didn't expect that. It was not great, but we're going to start anyway. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start placing our units in the deployment zones. Okay, so I'm going to go first, and I will place one right here. Now, we know zero strategy about this game.
Correct.
So we're going completely blind. So when I placed it there is 100% no reason that I did that. But I will form a strategy very soon.
The Flash.
Flash. Do you remember the rules for the Flash?
Nope.
Okay.
I know that they can only move 3.
Okay. Yes, they can move 3, and you can look over there, and they can daze. Remember, it's like within 2 lines, resolve a contest, okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to move a torrent right here. Good choice, good choice. I'm going to roll with this guy right here, the Arc. Gale, Torrent. Canto, Arc, Flash. This is a game, it's one of those games where basically like it's kind of difficult to really, you have to really not only understand what each be able to remember what each faction does, but also how to use this in a strategic way. Mm-hmm. That's why it's kind of difficult, but it's like chess. I mean, you over time, you just second nature to, move a knight and an L, right?
Yes.
Okay. How does Bishop move?
Diagonals.
Good job. Okay, I'm gonna put a Flash right here.
Okay.
Canto. Some pros might say that you just put all the same, like you want to put as many little diversity of units out there,
Who says that?
Some pros might say.
Who are the pros?
I don't know. It could be us soon. All right, so we are going to start this and see how it pans out. Okay?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to roll first, and I don't like this because it feels like you're going to react to what I do, and you could potentially just catch somebody immediately.
Yes.
So this is why you have to declare a unit first, because if you roll first, you're going to know which one you want to use. And I like that.
Right.
I do like that. Okay. So I'm going to declare. Wish I knew what the number was going to be. So I'm going to declare this guy. I like starting off with these. Just send in my. They feel like kind of like a pawn. I'm going to send in the pawn first. Okay. So that is a 7. So this is going to be interesting. I'm just going to kind of like just make a little lookout if I can. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 5. Okay. I'd like to get him in a watchtower or a rooftop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to go here. Okay. Now, if I do that, it's impossible to get in a roof. Well, no, I'm just going to put him here. I like that. I'm just going to go there. I think that was a legal move. We need a ref.
You just zigzagged through?
I think I zigged, right? Now, can you roll that up here on the board?
Yep.
3. Ooh, 3. What do you do with a 3? First, you have to declare which unit you're moving.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Are you basing it on your die roll?
I was.
Okay.
I'm going to move my torrent.
Okay.
That sounds like fun.
How many turns to hit are you right now? How many turns have you already made out?
All right, I got 10. So do I move? Pick one value.
And guys, I'm just going to say this as a reminder because we haven't played too much yet. So you roll 2, 1 is movement, and 1 is extra if you capture an enemy. So it's just like these guys, except if you get another one, you surge. And you move off of that guy, and you can capture a second enemy.
Okay.
You just want to bounce.
6.
Something about that just felt illegal.
Oh.
Do it again?
That's because it was 7 and I can only go 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just felt wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
I think. Okay, so you went 6.
Yep.
Now, interesting. Okay, so these two are by far the hardest because they just have their own little rules, and you just have to remember this one is within 2 nodes, something happens as a contest, and this one is within 1 node, they're stunned. Okay?
Right.
So now this one happens on either turn. This one happens on the defender's turn. So sorry, on the attacker's turn.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the defender. So if
the enemy's turn.
It happens on your turn.
On the enemy's turn.
This guy will be activated on your turn. Mine.
The enemy's turn.
The enemy's turn,
okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this torrent right here.
Do the torrent.
Oh man, no, he uses 2 dice.
No.
No, he only uses 1, which is the problem. Actually, I'm about to pull off something crazy here.
Pull it off. Maybe. Depends how you roll.
2, 3, 4, 5. I can't get to you. So I'll just be in your line of sight, essentially, which is trash. Now, this guy seems like he's going to be defense. He's going to be some pretty good defense. So, oh, but he can only move 3, so I can't, just snipe you, basically.
Exactly.
So, okay, I'm going to move 3 with this guy.
Okay.
1, 2, whoa. 1, 2, 3. I like having him there. So he seems like just kind of he's kind of just backup. He's just watching the 6,
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like you'd want to put him near. I'm just telling you all the strategy. I'm already figuring some out though, I think.
Are you?
Strong strats.
I'm going to move my Gale.
Okay. 7, okay. I just picture you counting out each one in your head and just going,
1, 2, 3, 4,
it's just not
5,
working.
6, 7.
Really? Oh. Golly day, you're an absolute just computer right now. It's insane. Okay.
I don't want to get fingerprints all over the board, so I just do it in my brain instead of.
Yeah. Because last night when we were playing, you traced the entire board probably 3 times around before you went.
That is not true.
It really was.
We played like 2 rounds.
Okay, but still.
We declared like 3 people.
True. Okay. So, well, we tried to do like 1 of each, but we ended up just doing a movement for each one. So I'm gonna move one of these Kanto. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna roll 2 dice, and I'm moving the Kanto.
Okay.
6 and a 5. That's exactly what I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, yes, I am. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is within 1 space. So I am stunning you right now.
Can you stop your movement at any time?
Well, I just simply
move into my space and it happens?
No, I'm within 1 of you.
So as long as you move into my space, it happens. Like it's like a.
No, but I'm not stopping. Like I used a 5.
Oh, you used a 5.
Yeah.
I thought you used a 6.
No.
Gotcha.
Yep. So you're stunned. So that guy cannot be declared, which is cool. Now you could move. See, I don't know if it's another Kanto or if it's another enemy unit. Like if you could you move this guy into here and just push him out? I really don't know. So we're playing the Kanto way, where you have to use another Kanto to get him out. I'm not sure that's right though, because it seems like it'd be very, very difficult to do. Maybe not.
I'm gonna move Flash.
Okay. 5. You're using the Flash. So the Flash, you don't roll for the Flash.
Oh,
you move 3.
My bad.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. You can flash me and
oh yeah. So basically, if I move this guy toward you, there would be a contest immediately, and then if you lost, I would just continue my turn. I could shoot you and capture you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like to me. That's the way we're playing. Okay.
And there's no way to get people back, right? After they're captured?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Then I'm gonna continue my.
Okay. So I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna use the arc.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a 4 and a 1. That's trash. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not within 2 straight line, but still. Well, it would only happen on my turn that you could activate that guy anyway. So 4 is a pretty terrible roll for that. 1, 2. No, I can't go through blue diamonds though. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Oh, that's a torrent. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna go right here for now. Just kind of leave him alone. I am within that guy's reach though, which I don't like. But yeah, we're just gonna go with that for now.
I'm gonna go with the Gale.
The Gale Force.
Gale.
Do it.
4? Are you kidding me?
That's
right
not getting
now?
anywhere. That girl limp. Excuse me? How'd you do
1, 2,
that?
3, 4.
How'd you do that?
Oh, do I have to move down the straight line?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then go. Is that better for you?
Well, I mean, it's better because it literally is the rules.
Yes, right.
So,
Okay.
yeah. That is much better.
So does first ever change? Who goes first? So you're always gonna have
why would
upper
it?
hand.
No? Why would I? In
Do you not like
in chess. What, do I not like what?
my coffee breath?
I'm just holding my breath when you speak, but so in chess, do you ever switch turns?
No.
Does anybody ever have an upper hand?
Ah.
Yeah, but has the regulation changed in centuries?
No.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
doesn't mean you don't have an upper hand if you go first.
I don't have an upper hand because I don't even know how to play these guys that well. But I'm doing my best, okay? So I declared this guy because I can only do that. Now, I'm gonna use a 5 here. I don't like that guy.
Which one?
Your flash over there, because he's always gonna produce one. He's always gonna do one contest. But I'm gonna get my guy out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I didn't capture anybody. So now your turn, and you got your Canto.
I have to do the Canto.
You do.
6.
Absolutely unnecessary. The only guy. Well, there's a lot. Its chances are high. I want to be able to picture like 2 or 3 turns ahead, and my brain is just black.
Within
Just the
one node.
blackness.
So the Canto stuns within 1 node.
Yes.
Can I
On either
stun
turn.
other Cantos?
Yeah. Now that's interesting. Looking at this, the Canto stuns on either person's turn. Yeah. So we'd stun each other, which is basically how I describe our marriage.
So I can't stun you and then drag you because we both stun each other.
We both stun each other, so we can't declare anybody or do anything
So
like
we're
that.
just stuck.
We're stuck.
We're in
Yes.
stalemate.
Yep.
For how long?
For at least a turn. I don't know how that's gonna work, but if you go and stun me, I can't be declared next turn. If I go and stun, so realistically, I wouldn't be able to go. Then your turn would go, and you wouldn't be able to go, and then my turn would come back, and I would be able to go again, and I would just.
And you just hop on
I would
top of
probably
me
drag you.
and
No, the Cantos cannot.
they can't capture anyone. They just
They
drag
just
and push.
drag them over another unit.
Okay. So this guy's free now, though, right? Because you've only stunned me for 1 turn. Or do I stay stunned as long as I'm in your vicinity?
So to answer your question, a Canto that has an enemy never releases them.
Okay. Until he's like pushed off or
Yes.
whatever.
So if we stun each other, I'm pretty sure we have to push like somehow. That's why I think like because if all the Cantos stunned each other, there'd be no way to push the other person off. But then again, somebody could just come capture that person that's stunned.
So if I move into
You are stunned right now.
Huh? I know. How close do I have to be to this guy to push him off?
You have to be on. You have to be on that guy. So what you gonna do? What you can. So
we're gonna stay stunned if I come into.
I believe so. We would stay stunned until somebody captures. Like I could just try to, sprint over and then get your guy. Just capture him straight up. It almost seems like everybody on the board just could become tased.
Right.
Just a group, and just everybody's stuck.
So you can never catch a Canto. You're always stunned if you're within 1.
You are stunned if you're within 1. You can catch one.
How do you catch one?
Because if
The only way you can catch a Canto is if you shoot it with your arc.
there you go. You just found an incredible strategy that I'm going to use.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's how you do it. You just
Okay.
got to do it. I like that. It's like some are made to counter others. I mean,
Okay. So I'm gonna come over here. I have 6.
I think the way this works is
Yeah,
that
let's see.
I think the way this works is actually for the Canto, it has to end its movement 1 node away. So if an enemy, it's not just within, like if the enemy just, it has to stop 1 node away. It's all about ending movement there.
So they can end their turn.
Yeah. You can end it to stun somebody, but you would have to, you can't, it doesn't seem like you would just become stunned if you entered into my area. I think you have to end your movement there, and then you're stunned. So you want to move like away from him. That's what it sounds like. I think that's the way, because that wouldn't make sense. I would never be able to push you out of that, because if I came into that area, I would be stunned by my other guy would be stunned. So we're gonna say it's your movement. If you end your movement there.
But I ended my turn right next to you, so you're stunned and I'm stunned.
Yes, which is gonna be interesting. So I cannot declare my Canto right now, and then you won't be able to declare. I'll be able to declare my Canto before you. So we're gonna play this out, okay? We're gonna play this out.
Oh no,
Mistakes have been made.
I don't want to do that.
We're gonna play this out. Let it be epic.
No.
Let it be epic.
No, because you would just take
I would
the
drag
stunned
him.
one and drag him over the other one.
Wait, no.
That
Hey,
dumb.
hold on. Let me read you a very, very important rule real quick.
Okay.
That it doesn't matter how seasoned you are with this game. It says no, and I quote, no take backsies.
Is that really saying that?
No take backsies. All right. So,
Well, I didn't know that rule.
I'm
though.
sorry. No take backsies.
Are you kidding me?
We're gonna play.
now?
Just let it ride.
All
it'll
right,
be
fine.
intense. Oh,
Fine.
whoa, my golly, you get aggressive. Is there
Fine.
really more that you can do?
Yep.
Okay. So you've gone.
All right.
Sorry.
Just know that it has turned into a ruthless game.
Okay.
right.
I was already playing that way.
All right. Obviously.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna declare this guy.
Okay.
I was going to declare this guy regardless.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Oh, is that cheating?
No, you've gone 2. We're gonna take your.
No, I'm declaring this guy.
Oh.
Am I good with this?
No.
I was going to declare him. I looked at him. If you saw my eyes, they
It
were.
doesn't matter.
You're playing a ruthless game.
No take backsies.
That doesn't apply. Okay, ready? I'm declaring that guy. Let's go, baby. That
All
was ruthless. 1, 2, 3. I'm capturing this guy. Boom. That's 1 down. 4 to go. Easy claps. Wait. Okay, go ahead. You can also not do anything right now. Go ahead. 8.
8.
If you saw it on mine right now, it's like pieces moving, taking pieces, shifting. She's looking in the rulebook half the time. And then just retreats. Can I get a sip of your orb? Whatever this thing is. That's fun to drink out of.
So can I capture a Canto by landing on top of him?
Yeah.
I can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
There's about 460 different paths you could take, and we're not going to sit here. What?
What do I do with my die? My guy.
My guy was right here.
Okay.
So you ended your movement to capture my Canto.
Yes.
Now that's going to be a huge mistake. I'm going to show you why. Because I'm just going to nade all those guys. Here we go.
How are you going to name
I'm
him?
going to take this. I'm going to use this guy. And I've rolled a 9. That's going to be difficult. That is going to be difficult to ricochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What do you
Easy.
mean ricochet?
Well, to bounce around the board to get 9 so I can capture this guy. Now, if I end my movement...
You can end your turn early to capture anyone.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that guy, but if I end my movement next to the Canto...
Yep.
But I can actually capture your Canto by doing that. But then you could capture my guy.
Right.
What?
Correcto.
What? What?
Correcto.
Did I already declare that guy?
Nope.
Oh, perfect. Then I'm going to change my guy.
I don't know if you did or not.
I did, and that would have helped you. But I'm going to do this, I think. And I don't like the Canto being there because I'll get... Actually...
You will get stunned if you land.
The torrent. Yes, I will get stunned, but that's not as bad as... Yeah, the torrent is gonna capture me.
The torrent or the gale.
So I'm going to get captured right there if I go that way. Now, another thing I could do Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have a contest. If you want to declare one.
If I want to declare one,
Yeah.
what's the only other option is that
To not.
you capture me?
Oh
Okay,
man.
are you gonna blue?
Yeah, I'm gonna be blue. Here we go. Oh, that's yep. Sorry, not our game yet. Here we go. That's gonna be tough.
Yes. So I give maybe one away.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm coming after you though. Okay. So there we go. And now what you could have done actually is reinforced.
What do you mean?
At the end of your turn where you captured my guy, you could have reinforced. Wait, you've
Can you
captured
do
one of my
that?
guys. Oh, but
You
I could.
captured one of mine.
Yeah, but I had 5 people on. You have less than 4. You had less than 5
Oh.
when you captured my guy. So you could reinforce with one of your guys and send them in deployment zone, which means you have to use them first this round. Or you can not. Okay, go ahead. Ooh. Oh, man. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. So you can reinforce now if you want to.
Mm-hmm. I'll reinforce
Jeez.
with my
Gotta get my snipe out there.
arc.
Okay. But I have to, in order to reinforce, I have to actually capture one of your guys, which is gonna be difficult. So I'm gonna declare. I need the one. Oh, I need my guy. I really like this guy. The Gale's sick because he can just skate around and capture people.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. Oh man, that's so bad. I need to roll a 6. I'm declaring the shooter. Actually, okay, I'm declaring my torrent. Okay. And I will use. I'm gonna move him here. Ugh.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Was that a take backsy?
I think so.
2, 3, 4.
No, as long as your hand was still
5.
on it. Once your hand comes off, then you can't take it back.
So that's not a corner. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to see the corners, you know.
Mhm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd have to move him here. It's not gonna
Or
help me.
this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna move him there for now. See what happens. Which I'm not a big fan of, honestly. Let me see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go 3. 1, 2, 3.
What do you mean 3?
I'm going 3. I'm using this dice.
Oh, okay.
Your turn. So I can't reinforce because I didn't capture anybody, which is trash.
And I've got to use my arc this time.
Okay, you're gonna use your arc. Yes, you have to use your arc.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great, actually. That's actually great. Arc.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can do is ricochet, which is use enemies as corners and just kind of move across them.
But you shoot them.
Yeah, but like he can use the enemies as a special thing to like if he doesn't want to shoot them, just move.
But I can shoot them.
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot you.
What? Let me see. How'd you move? How'd you do that?
I guess I have to go straight.
No, the
Okay.
arc cannot end its movement early, I believe.
Okay. 3, 4, 5. Shoot ya.
Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Oh my golly. That's horrible.
Can I
Please.
reinforce?
No, because you have 5 people. Yes, you can reinforce.
No, I have 5 on the board.
You have 5, yeah. Okay, so I'm declaring my torrent now.
Okay.
Give me something good. Okay. Yes. 1. Wait. 1, 2. I need a corner, baby. I need a corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you kidding me?
No take backsies.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You go backwards.
5. Yeah, but I don't like the way that guy looks.
No, I wouldn't either.
Or was that right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go right there.
Okay.
Yeah, your turn.
I'm going to do my Gale.
Okay. The positioning in this is incredibly difficult because you like, it's for me to calculate where I need to go and how easy it is for you to get there is incredibly difficult. Because right now I can't tell if I'm making a smart choice about it. Like, I don't know if you can even get there. You know, because I have to like look at each corner and try to calculate that. That's pretty intense. Wow. I mean, you have an entire just
okay. I'm
squad
gonna use
there.
my. Oh, the torrent's sketchy because I roll. I'm gonna use my Gale.
Okay.
5.
So you have to move 5. And it's just unfortunate for me that you're getting higher rolls, because if you got like a 2, I mean, it's not gonna. Huh? No.
Why? Here?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. What? Okay.
If not, then 1,
all right.
2,
all right.
3.
I guess you can, because you can end your movement early. Wow. Either I'm just playing the worst game of 5 paths imaginable, or you're just like some weird prodigy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know how you're reading the board so well. You probably don't either.
I told you it was the no take backsies.
Oh my golly.
I had to
That's
turn
nothing.
it on. I had to turn it on.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to declare this guy because I have to.
You have to. Yep.
2. So I'm going to go 1, 2.
Perfect.
Capture that guy. And I'm going to go 1, 2. Huh? Yeah. Yes, I can.
It's a torrent.
Yeah, he surges. He's the other one. He's the other die.
Oh, okay.
So
bad.
1, 2.
Okay.
So I'm doing that. And I'm going to reinforce with my... Dude, I don't even know. You've taken each one of these guys out pretty easily. I'm actually going to go here with this guy. Okay, there you go. I got both my guys just peeking out a dumpster right now, just praying to God. Oh my golly. Just in the alleys.
Well, if I come after you,
you got to be careful because but
you're gonna get whatever guy that.
That's the tough part.
But I can surge away.
You could.
So I'm gonna do this guy.
Okay. You're gonna have to roll 2 like pretty hefty dice though.
I know.
That's the interesting part. You got to roll 2 really solid. No take backsies. Go.
I haven't even rolled the die.
Oof.
Where's it here?
I think so. It's close. See, that's not a corner. You can't just go through that just because it's a blue.
Because they're diamonds.
No, yeah, but it has to make sense still. Like the momentum still has to make sense.
Where was I?
Right here, I think. That's where you start. That's where you started on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? There you go. You can do that. Okay. Now I'm going to declare... Oh, I have to use this guy, so I'm going to use that guy and roll. That's a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can get that guy. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to... Oh, it's getting down to it already. And I'm going to reinforce with... See, I want to know how to use these guys better. I don't like using these guys because I just don't know the strategy too well for them. But I feel like they're really good for defense. But right now it's an offensive game. We're just trying to take each other out because we don't understand like the strategy well enough. So I'm going to go here and reinforce with another torrent.
Okay.
Yep. Actually, take backsies. Man, that rule gets you every time. Now I probably should have gone closer to that guy with that one. Is that a take backsie? Okay, there you go.
And declare my arc.
Okay.
I shoot you. You are.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh?
I shoot you.
You cannot end your movement early.
Are you sure?
Yeah, arc
yes,
cannot.
I can.
No, not arc. That's why it's hard, because
it may not end early.
Yeah.
Okay, so where was I? Right here?
I think so.
I'm using the 2, 1, 2. I shoot you.
No, you can't do that. That's not a corner. Where were you? Where were you?
What do you mean?
Hold on, where were you?
I was right here.
Okay, so this is going to go straight. That is that. You can't just turn there. That's momentum. You have to go straight if you can. I just want to know how many times you've done that. No, that is not a corner. You can't just turn there.
Corner?
That's not a corner. You just have to go
right
keep
here.
going straight down the street.
Okay.
I think I might have gotten gypped a little bit. Because you only need one more of my guys.
What do you mean?
If you get 5, you win. Which I didn't realize. I mean, I did, but there's nothing I could do about it, really. Hopefully you can't get that, though. I have to be very careful. I needed to be very careful with that move. I might have been a little aggressive there, but I don't think that you can. Wait, how did you go last time?
What do you mean?
You can get me. I'm not gonna show you how, but you can get me. But if you can't figure it out in the next 20 seconds, then I'm just gonna concede. It's like the most obvious choice.
Huh? Oh, well, is this a corner?
Yeah. No, this one is.
But is this not a corner?
No. But you could still get me. There you go. You captured my 5th guy. Wow. I don't even know what this, like. Here's what I do know. Is that if there was a bad way to play this game, I think I did that.
Right. Because
I have no idea about the balance between offense and defense right now.
Uh-huh.
And part of the reason is because I just don't know the strategies super well with these guys. I think that game is supposed to last probably twice as long as it actually did. Because when I went in with my last guy, I didn't even realize I was down to 4. I saw that after I knew after there's no take backsy. You know what I mean? So the take backsy is disgusting. All right, I hate that rule, but I'm glad it's in here.
You could have played
graciously. I used it. I did use it on you.
And I would probably, would have let you not do the take back or do a take backsy.
Listen.
Once, but
Yeah. Well, I don't like playing games where there's pity. You know what I mean? I didn't want to pity backsy. Okay. So I just took it like a man. Now.
And you lost.
I lost horribly. So, wow.
Rule. This is a teachable moment right here. Okay.
It is.
So I'm a mama. I can do this. Teachable moment. Compassion will help you win.
I'm going to put a rainbow over us.
Will help you win. Compassion always wins in life.
So anyway, this was insane, and I didn't like the way you played it all. Because you went. I mean, you didn't have compassion at all on me after that one thing.
You didn't have compassion on me.
That's the way we should do things. It's just because somebody does some dirt to you.
I'm playing by the rules. Okay.
Yep. So wow, that was insane.
So I started playing by the rules.
I feel like this game, and we're not quite in the review yet, but I feel like this game could easily be a game that becomes something that you keep on like a coffee table.
Yeah.
And just play. There's no setup here. You just throw it out, and after probably a week of playing this game, which for us would be like really 2 times, would be you would understand. I would look at this guy and I would know exactly where to move him. So that was 5 paths, guys. This one might be a little too short. I wish we could have shown a little bit more action on there. We did do a little bit of everything though. I think everybody got a chance to shine on your side of the board. You know how not to play with the people on my side, okay? I did some good stuff. One of my strategies, if you want to know, I got to defend myself, was I was going to use the torrent to surge through, basically capture this guy, surge through, and get that other guy. But then your Kanto was there, and if I ended my movement, you would have stunned me. I probably should have just gone for it. I just didn't want to.
I don't really know what that means.
Okay, well, okay. That makes me mad, too, because it's almost like you were just guessing.
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes that pays off,
I knew how
guys.
to capture. I didn't know special abilities. That's all I.
You know
I
it's
needed
like
to know.
it's like when you're playing
to know how to capture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's like when you're playing somebody that's really good at chess. Sometimes the person, I don't know if this is true, but sometimes the person, it's been true for me sometimes, if you don't know what you're doing in chess, you confuse the other person so bad because they're like, I've never seen this opening in my 4 years of playing chess, 5 years, 20 years.
Like, this what makes is no their sense. Strategy?
Yeah, he just used 9 different openings in the first 3 moves. And so that person's confused. And I can win that game because they have no idea how to deal with that level of just horrible play.
Right.
So I feel like that's what happened here a little bit is my analogy. I knew what I was doing and she was confusing me so badly by her movements that I just got eaten alive.
I went straight for you.
You did. You really did. I didn't know what to do. Honestly, I tried. I had some strategies going, but by the time I was ready to form that, my guy one of her guys was on top of my guys.
My only strategy was capture. That was it. I was trying to show the game off and the potential it has here. So sure.
Anyway, that was 5 paths, guys. Insane. So guys, we're officially in the review portion of the video. If you've not seen the full playthrough, the link is in the description, and the Kickstarter link is also in the description. So please check that out. Now, what have we played today, guys?
5 paths.
We have played 5 paths, a game that is, depending on when you're watching this, could potentially be on Kickstarter right now. Okay, so if not, just check out the link in the description regardless, and you will be able to see it. Okay, so what are we looking at here? So 5 paths is an abstract game where we have, you said it perfectly earlier, a bunch of, what are these?
Pogs.
Golly, that's good. Okay, so we have pogs here.
Character pogs.
Yes, they're all characters, and they're one of 5 different paths. Now, this is an abstract game that is very, very chess-like, checkers-like, that type of strategy where it's just moving pieces on a board, and each piece has, well, checkers isn't really like that. It's more probably similar to chess because they each have their own ability or their own movement styles, their own abilities, the way they capture, the way they have special abilities, and just the way they move. Okay, so each faction is going to do that differently. And that's what makes this game super unique, is because first of all, there's nothing to set up here really, except the pogs, okay? And they just feel good to handle, okay? And then you have this board and a couple dice. And I love that, man. I'm really, especially after having kids, I'm really loving these games that have very few rules, okay? This is the book right here, very thin, okay? And not, the page quality is great, but like just thin in density, okay? So I love these games where there's very little rules, very little setup time, and unlimited strategic variety and diversity and things to explore. This game, basically what we're doing, guys, is we're moving these different characters around. These are the deployment zones where we deploy them from, and we're going to be moving these pieces around the board using their specific styles of moving and capturing. And if you want to check out the specifics of each faction, guys, that is in the full playthrough, which you can check out in the link in the description, which I've already mentioned. Okay, so we're not going to go through all these specific factions, but each one moves differently. Each one is going to capture enemies differently. And the way you win this game is to capture 5 of the opponent's enemies, or make it so that they cannot declare, which means basically say, I'm using this unit in the next turn, whether that be from stunning them or from just capturing all of them. One thing that I love about this game, I've already discussed, is just the level of strategy that comes in this small package, very easy to set up. I said this in the playthrough, but I feel like this is a game you set up on your coffee table, like a nice game of chess. But if you're tired of the old fashioned, you know what I mean? Which chess is great, obviously. But you're tired of that? This is something different. This is it looks like a futuristic dystopian version of chess that's even more involved because you have all of these different abilities. And obviously with chess, you're just trying to capture pieces. But these, you can stun people, you can drag them around, do all kinds of different things.
Shoot them.
You can shoot them, depending on the faction, yes. This is a game that I feel like right now, the learning curve isn't that steep. I feel like it's actually super steep right out the gate, and then it just levels off because once you've played, we've played one time, and I feel like we would be twice as effective.
Right.
Okay. So again, what's really cool is that you just have these few elements, and you get to explore all of these different strategies and just try to make each move as efficient as possible. And you don't. It's not like you're having to focus on all these resources on a board or dice placements or cards you're flipping and how those strategies work. It's these simple pieces that are going to create just multitudes of different ways to play this game.
It's not luck versus strategy in this game. It's pure strategy.
This game is, well, that's not true. And what makes this,
rolling of the die. I see.
I wonder how this game would be without the dice. But for me,
I think it would probably be too easy without the die.
It probably would, because you'd be like, I could just move this guy 14 spaces and capture your guy. So I actually love the fact that there's this small element.
You're right.
Small element of strategy right here with this game. And this actually makes all the difference because I love that, because when you use that, you have to declare a piece first before you roll a die, which is a game changer. If they would have been like, you roll a die and then declare a piece, this game would literally just end the fun factor just in half. Yeah. Because it would just, again, that would be too easy. So you have to declare a piece first, which has a very specific movement styles, and then you use your dice, which is amazing.
Correct.
So, is there anything left?
There's not much left for me to say.
Try to dig something out of there.
Another thing that we've come to love is asymmetry in games. So I love the fact that all of these move differently. They've incorporated unique areas of the board, like the Gales can go on these rooftops and stay hidden, kind of thing. And
it's nice that they're also green, with a little color code, so they're the ones that can go on the rooftops, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I just like that.
And then these torrents can slide through the actual diamonds, the blue diamonds. And so it's just really cool that they all have different ways to move and special abilities. And it's cool that they used a very simple design.
And from this simple design, they created a map of things that only specific factions can enter or go through. And that's all you need to make this replayable infinitely.
I love that it's like an ever-evolving strategy too, because if you want to try a different strategic path, then I'm gonna have to adjust mine. You can't play the same strategy every single time. I just don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Oh no, it would never happen. It's just like chess. I mean, you could try, but eventually somebody's gonna work around it.
But there are some games, you break it out and you're like, okay, this strategy worked for me last time. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing. This game is not.
Yeah,
that.
It's very reactive. It's very reactive, but you do have when I had all my guys out there, I knew with each one, I was like, okay, I can do this with this guy, this with this guy, this with this guy, this with this guy. But then you would just completely knock one out. And I was like, okay, well, I guess, at least I still have these other guys that I can use.
Right.
But, you have to determine, it's cool because you have to determine what the other person's going to do. What is their most important strategy? What are they about to do? Just like chess. Seriously, you have to figure out if I go
psychological.
Here. It is. It is very psychological. You have to determine, if I go here, what are they going to do? Are they going to take this guy or are they going to go for this guy over here?
Right.
That might be less important or more important or whatever. So that's really cool. Absolutely. It's very reactive, it's all about, adapting to what's happening on the board very quickly, very fast paced.
So one thing that I like too, how you play this game is so after you capture a piece, you get to reinforce. And so they go in here in these deployment circles right here. You cannot declare a piece on the play field until these are all empty. So you have to declare the one that's in the deployment. So
super interesting.
If you leave yourself in a vulnerable spot here and you decide to reinforce, then now they can play and you have to use the one that's on the very outskirts of the city. Or what is this a city? Yeah, a city. So that changes the way that you play the game too, if you decide to reinforce.
You have to decide what's more important. Potentially losing your guy.
Or do I need more people out there?
Yeah, do you want more people? That's so true. And that's what I love. I feel like they started out with a blank slate and they just added shapes. And they're like, okay, how can we incorporate these shapes and create rules for the shape? Oh yes, perfect. This will be for this faction. And how can we let's spread out, let's make some more shapes on here. And how can we use those? And they incorporated the diamonds, then they did the deployment zones. Okay, so deployment, you have to use that. That's another layer of strategy. They created all these layers of strategy and each one of those creates exponential more strategies behind them. So that's really cool. And something else that I love about this game, and it's just so smart, is that some games, I feel games are almost complete in themselves. They don't need, or they don't really have room for, I would say, for expansions and things like that. Some of the games we have they're so heavy to begin with, or just so dense that you don't want any more expansions. This game is
right.
it's just keep it the way it is. It's just already a little bit too much. But it's a lot of fun, but too much. But this one right here is absolutely perfect for expansions. There's so much expansion opportunity here.
Different maps, adding new players.
And it's all the same. The foundation will remain the same, but the maps could change. I mean, this map alone provides so many different routes, but then all they have to do is add different shapes and make different factions,
or just
I would love to
maps,
see
like a cube or square or diamond or whatever.
You would never need another expansion to play this game infinitely, but it would be awesome to be able to take those. Now there's two ways to play. One is to get really good at what's already here,
right, and
one is to be like, I want to explore other factions and stuff and see how those affect. And the number of different abilities are just endless. You could the potential here for expansion and increase and just what's here is insane. And the game wouldn't become more difficult to understand. It would just provide more options. So even after the first play, I feel as if now I have a better understanding of areas I need to be more aggressive in, areas where I need to just take it a little bit easy. So at one point I had a guy out here and I just left him vulnerable. And I didn't even realize that she had 3. I was so ready for my next turn. She had 3 people that she could easily use to just take him.
As long as I rolled the right die, it didn't even have to be a high number of die that he was like.
Yep. So
I was surrounded. I mean,
very cool game, and again, just can play it forever. I really think you can play this and just keep going.
This is an awesome.
You could have you could have easily. This game could be like a tournament. Enter this game into a tournament and just have this massive. Everybody's gonna be playing differently. Some people are gonna be super good with these and use them in ways you've never seen, and that is super interesting to me. So, anyway, that is the great things about this game, and so constructive criticism has to happen. Okay, I know you don't want it, but it has to happen.
I don't like it.
It has to happen. Okay.
So one thing that I think could be improved if we had player aids. So if we're supposed to play, do you want to show them?
We're supposed to play across the table.
Yeah, we're supposed to play
so
across
you have
the table
these, you have these here, but that font is small.
And they tell you the font's small. It's a little dark with the maroon and the purple on the black background. And so especially in the beginning when you're trying to get used to this game, I think player aids would be really nice just to have on hand, so you're not, just
a little larger and I think a little bit more. It's not that these aren't concise, because there's not that many rules for each faction, but maybe a little bit more concise, because in the middle of a game when you're trying to be strategic and you have to sit here and read this small font and try to figure out what this person really does and try to not only read it and understand what the words are saying, but how to use that in a strategic way. It is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie. So again, after 5-10 times of playing this, you probably would you would never need that again. But for your first several plays to really dive in and become passionate about this game and really enjoy it, you need something probably with a little bit more concise, but also larger. And it's like, this is what it does. Boom. Now, guys, understand this is a prototype. The rulebook is also a prototype. So if there's any need for improvement in rules, I'm sure that'll be addressed in the Kickstarter. I felt like everything was explained rather well. There were a couple questions that we had, but I mean, again, that gets explained and improved. So in the Kickstarters and everything. So I think that is the main complaint about this game, is that when you first start playing, it's not about the future, because the future, you understand. Chess, you understand. You don't know it at first. It's the same thing. Okay, but these are a little bit more involved in move upon forward, move a knight and an L. So you have to really play this. I would say right out the gate, you need to play it pretty frequently just to get a handle on it. But then after that, you can take breaks and you'll come back and it's like riding a bike. You understand it.
And another thing for me, I would like the corners to be a little bit more distinct.
That's great.
When you're playing. So momentum happens when. Do you want to switch it?
Yeah.
So momentum is, you have to go, if you're here and you're traveling, you can't just cut this corner. You have to travel the length of the entire straight line. And so sometimes when you're like, is this a corner? I don't know. I have to go straight.
When you're playing quickly and trying to figure out in your head, you do. It's very. To go?
The paths are a little bit difficult to see and figure out. So I would really
so
love.
Good. If it had like even just a small black mark or star or something, some symbol to signify that was
turn here.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, I really like that. That is 100%, because when you're moving quickly through this, you don't want to sit here and go, okay, corner. Oh
no, that's straight.
There, yeah. You just sometimes you just don't know, and you're trying to figure it out in your head before you even do it. And so that's another thing for me, is that especially when you first start playing this game, the AP, which is analysis paralysis, learning the words. Yes. Okay. So AP, this game can be very AP prone, I believe, especially like chess. You know, you can sit there for 45 minutes and take your turn. You know what I mean? And then you're in check anyway from the next guy because he's already planned his next turn 12 steps ahead of you. But this one, you can definitely sit here. And especially with these guys that move long distances, if I roll an 11 and I can't capture anybody, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, do I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are so many different paths you can take that it's a little bit overwhelming to try to sit there. And you can see the person, you can see their eyes just going, you know, like just going crazy over the board, trying to figure out the path they want to take. And then even with this guy, you have even more places you can move because you can move onto rooftops. And when you start the game, you want to move on a rooftop. And so when we first played, we went around the board like 7 times trying to figure out how we can get in this rooftop. And then you come to realize you can't. Right. So that is one thing that is very difficult, and I think that corner thing would help because then it shows you your different paths easily, so you don't have to figure out that part in your head. Right. So anyway, I think those are the only complaints, really, and those are all things that can easily be improved.
So when you're talking about, I think speed, like speed chess or whatever would be really cool. Playing this like a speed.
Anything you can do with chess, you can do with this
rounds,
game.
Yeah.
100%. I think, yes, anything you do with chess, you can do with this game. I think this game has a lot of potential to be something that people really get into. And it's just that game that you want to master. Right. It becomes the game you want to master, which is great. And we do not have enough of these types of games.
No, we don't.
And so this is exciting for us because we're going to definitely get back into the strategy. And I'm going to sit there and be just biting my nails to the cuticle, trying to, that's gross, trying to decide what to do. Okay. And I want to see it happen 12 turns ahead. And I'm sitting here and my heart's just pounding. I'm like, yes, I figured her out.
Super competitive.
I'm very competitive.
And I'm not. So
yes.
Yeah. He will want to play this over and over until he gets one under his belt.
Yes. And then we can put it away. Yeah. But no, it's a great game. I really do highly recommend this game. I think it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of potential for everything. Just a lot of gameplay, unlimited. There's no setup variability, and there's still unlimited variability. Yes, because sometimes games are only super variable because the amount of components they have, which is overwhelming to set up sometimes. Because you have 100 cards that you can use, which is great. But this one, guys, just these pogs and the dice play forever. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, so far, 2 plays in. So we'll come back. Maybe we'll revisit in a couple of years and see where we're at. Okay. So yes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Great time. Again, check the link in the I did it the first time. I was so close. So guys, once again, the link to the Kickstarter is in the description. The full playthrough is also in the description. And thank you once again to the developers, Nick Jackson, Robert Radkin, Zachary Brown, Matt Patting. And once again, beautiful art by Kenny Hong. Thank you guys for allowing us to review this game. And we are looking forward to the future that it holds for us because it's going to take up a lot of it.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. God bless, guys.